Welcome to our regular scheduled May 24th, 7 p.m. Board of Commissioners meeting. I now officially call us to order. Our first item of business tonight is our invocation and our Pledge of Allegiance. For our invocation, I've asked Tracy Stevenson, our Director of Public Works, to lead us in our invocation tonight, and after him, our Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Gavin McKnight. Gavin McKnight is a freshman at Willis Spring High School, and he is a Boy Scout, and he is currently a star rank, and he is almost an Eagle rank. So that will be happening here in the near future, and he's here to learn about local government and see our meeting in action. So thank you for being here also tonight, Gavin. If you would, please stand.
Pray with me. Lord, we thank you for this day, and we thank you for bringing us here safely to this place tonight to do the business of the citizens of the town of Fuquay-Varina. We just ask you to cover all the people in this room with your will and your favor as we work through the decisions that impact our world and our town. And we just ask that you would keep us safe as we go from this meeting tonight, and we just do all these things in pleasing to your name. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Gavin. Thank you, Tracy. Our meeting protocol. At this time, I ask Town Manager Mitchell to review the meeting protocol for public participation as it relates to this meeting. Adam, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Board. It's nice to be with you tonight. Tonight's Town Board meeting is both in person and live streamed on the town's YouTube channel and Facebook page. Tonight's meeting contains a public comment period and no scheduled public hearings. The public is invited to comment in person. When it is the appropriate time, Mayor Massengill will call on those wishing to address the Town Board. All attendees that have appeared in person to address the Town Board during the public comment period should provide your name and address on the green registration sheet by the podium prior to the public comment period beginning. We ask all those wishing to address the Town Board during the public comment period to begin their comments by clearly stating their name and address for the public record. The public is asked to keep all comments to 3 minutes so that all that wish to speak may be heard in a timely manner. To be respectful of those that may have different views on matters addressed by the Town Board, we ask that all in attendance respect the decorum of the meeting by refraining from clapping, making loud noises, and generally showing support or displeasure for comments made during the public comment period. Police Chief Smith will be asked to escort from the boardroom anyone not respecting the process, and it is the discretion of the mayor as presiding officer whether to continue the public comment period if the meeting protocol is not followed. This concludes the protocol for tonight's meeting.
Thank you, Adam. Next item of business, the approval of the minutes from the March 3rd, 2025 Town Board of Commissioners regular scheduled meeting. Any changes or additions? If not, we'll entertain a motion.
Mayor Massengill, I move that we approve the minutes of the March 3rd, 2025 Town Board of Commissioners regular scheduled meeting.
Second. With a motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. First presentation tonight, item 4A, employee recognition. More information about this agenda item will be presented by Police Chief Smith. Chief, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. It's always good to be standing before you this evening whenever we can recognize some outstanding achievements by some of our staff. Just looking back there, Officer Fundero is running a little bit late, but we're going to go ahead and get started. So tonight I'm going to be recognizing 2 employees. We'll start off with Officer Michael McClanahan, who's being recognized for recently earning the North Carolina Criminal Justice Education and Training Standards Commission Intermediate Law Enforcement Certificate. In order to qualify for the Intermediate Law Enforcement Certificate, the recipient must have obtained various levels of job-related training and or a combination of secondary school degrees and experience. And I would like to share that 19 of our officers have obtained their intermediate certificates and 27 have obtained their advanced certificates. So we are very proud of this achievement, and others are working towards this as well. So I will say this is not something that's easy to obtain. It requires effort, and our staff is putting in the work to get these certificates. So Officer McClanahan started his law enforcement career with the Appalachian State University Campus Police back in September of 2019 and joined the Fuquay-Varina Police Department in August of 2021, where he currently serves in the Field Operations Division on the traffic unit. We certainly are very happy that he's with our organization, and I will warn you, he drives one of those fancy black cars, and chances are, if he pulls you over, you're getting a ticket. So I've warned everybody. So Officer McClanahan, I want to present you with your certificate, sir.
So Chief, you're saying that there's no hiding in Fuquay-Varina from the police department. We've got unmarked cars, marked cars, everything. So
We got
criminals
everything
Stay
there.
away.
That's correct. All right, next up is Officer Salvatore Fundero, who's being recognized for recently earning his bachelor's degree in criminal justice administration from Columbia Southern University. Officer Fundero utilized the town's tuition reimbursement program to defray the costs of pursuing his degree. This valuable program has supported numerous employees in achieving their college education. 71% of the employees at the police department have a college degree. We push education, and so looking at the 71%, I'm very proud of that. And I know we have other employees that are working on their degrees right now as we speak, so we look forward to that number increasing. Officer Fundero started his law enforcement career with the New York Police Department in October of 2016 and joined the Fuquay-Varina Police Department in April of 2020. He currently serves in the Criminal Investigations Division as a detective. So I'd like to congratulate both of you for your hard work and your dedication to professional development and growth. So congratulations, gentlemen.
Gentlemen. Gentlemen, thank y'all for being here tonight. Thank you for taking the time to continue your education right here. Those are astounding facts that the chief just named right here, and what y'all are doing to continue to further your career, learn, bring back opportunities for you in our Fuquay-Varina Police Department. Our citizens appreciate that. Our citizens here in Fuquay-Varina support our police department and are very, very proud of our police department. And so, on behalf of myself and this entire board up here, thank you very much for what you're doing. We're proud of you. We'd love for you to shake everybody's hand and take a picture with you.
Thank you for your hard work. Congratulations. Thank you for your work.
Congratulations. Good work. Nice job.
Better. Right. Okay.
Before we move to this next item, Chief, we should go ahead and mention, especially while we have people here tonight, some exciting news happened last week that you were able to receive. Would you mind speaking about that for a moment?
So this past week, well, most of you know, or actually all of you know, that for about the past 18 months, we've been working towards getting CALIA accredited. All of you were involved in that process. You got to meet the assessor during the site assessment, who came in and learned how Fuquay-Varina is a dash more, and the police department is within the law enforcement best practices. And so this last week, we went to Garden Grove, California, and I sat before the commission with some of my staff, and they all voted unanimously for the Fuquay-Varina Police Department to be CALIA accredited. So we are very excited for this achievement. This is a milestone achievement for us. So, but it doesn't stop there. We're currently working towards our NC-LEA accreditation, which is the same thing, just through the state of North Carolina. And of course, we also hold the league's risk assessment. And so this is the beginning of great things. So I'm very proud of my staff for the hard work that they have put into this. We committed 100%, got it done in 18 months, which is fantastic. So yeah, we're very excited for this achievement.
Chief, we're very proud of the police department for that, and I know you'll be doing a presentation in the future about it, but I want everybody to hear about it while it's hot off the press right now on the news. So congratulations to the entire department.
Mr. Mayor, if I could just add, less than 1% of police department agencies around the United States, the entire country, meet these standards for CALIA accreditation. So we're in rare company.
It's an A+ in grade school, so that's great. I didn't see many of them. All right, next item on our agenda, presentation item 4B. This is 2024 North Carolina Main Street Award for Economic Vitality, the Best Infill Building Project Award. And this is about the queue. And I can come down up front, and I'd love to have David Ball and Bryden McCormick join me up front. And if you spouses would like to join us too, we'd love to have you also. Everybody, so I can let everybody see you. Yeah. This way? Okay. All right. That's perfect. For those of y'all in the room that may or may not know, these two power couples, that's what we'll call y'all tonight, these two power couples right here, the Balls and the McCormicks, and they have been heavily involved in Fuquay-Varina and invested in our town. There's many new projects you'll see that they have been involved with, but one specifically that we're going to talk about tonight is the Q. And recently at the North Carolina Main Street Awards were just the other week, and this is where towns and individuals are recognized for great accomplishments and involvement within their community. And so the Main Street Award of Economic Vitality, Best Infill Building Project Award, the Q. The Q is a new downtown in the Fuquay side of town building that is a multi-story building. It was the first of its kind built in our downtown, and it has ground floor restaurants. It's ground floor restaurant and some other businesses that are in there. Second floor has other office space and businesses that are in there, and then residential units up above that. And so that was a huge milestone for Fuquay-Varina. Fuquay-Varina was able to partner with them with an economic development grant in building this building in town. And so a few facts about this building is, I mentioned to you that's 4 stories tall, 36,000 square feet. And the town, as I said, also provided a economic development grant with this. 8,900 square feet of retail space, 9,200 square feet of office space, and over 18,000 feet of residential space. Not only did this building you gentlemen built provide tax basis for our town, this is over a $10 million investment for Fuquay-Varina, but it has also created 40 new jobs. And so anytime we can have an opportunity that a new business is built, increase the tax rolls, and create jobs right there and an amenity for our citizens at Fuquay-Varina with restaurants and office space there. And so this award was well-deserved when y'all were recognized recently. And so on behalf of myself and the entire board, I want to tell you thank you. Thank you, each one of y'all, for your investments in our town. We're very proud of that building right here.
Good job, good job.
David, congratulations. Dr. McCormick, good job. Yeah, I missed it too.
Take a photo real quick. I'm going to show a video. Okay. y'all in right here. We're going to take a photo real quick, and then we're going to show a video so everybody can know about this from, I did not realize that we had it tonight to be able to show, so this is great. Come on in here, gentlemen. Right then, so. All right, Scott, will you roll the video, please?
The Q is Fuquay-Varina's first multi-story mixed-use development in its historic downtown area. Standing at 4 stories, it was designed to complement the nearby Fidelity Bank headquarters. The Q spans 36,000 square feet, with retail on the first floor, office suites on the second, and residential condominiums on the third and fourth floors. Key tenants include El Cantarito Bar and Grill, Happy's Country Club, Marin May's Boutique, and others. The upscale condos feature modern amenities, with 7 configurations ranging from 1 to 2 bedrooms and 1 to 2 baths. Bryden McCormick and David Ball, aiming to meet the demand for upscale retail and restaurant space, partnered with the town of Fuquay-Varina to exchange a gravel parking lot for the development site. The town provided a $200,000 economic development incentive. Despite construction delays due to the pandemic, the project was completed on time, creating 36,459 square feet of mixed-use space, composed of 8,990 square feet of retail, 9,200 square feet of office space, and over 18,000 square feet of residential space. It has helped revitalize the downtown area, leading to increased rental rates, a rise in property values from just over $225,000 to $10 million, and the creation of 40 jobs. The project also spurred 6 new businesses, significantly contributing to the local economy and enhancing the town's infrastructure.
Our next presentation, item 4C, where we just recognized some individuals with a building. Now we are going to represent the individual for 2024 North Carolina Main Street Champion Recognition. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Our 2024 North Carolina Main Street Champion Recognition, David Ball. And so, David, if you would join me down front, I'd like to tell some more information, brag on you a little bit more here tonight. I've known David Ball for quite some time, and known Bryden and his family. I got to meet through David a few years later, and so David has been a friend for a long time, and David is a lifelong resident of Wake County, been here all your life, attended Campbell University. He asked me about my tie earlier, and I said, well, it's coincidence, but yes, I wore it for you tonight, David, for your honor of Campbell University. Here with that. Ball and Minor CPA is a local accounting firm here in Fuquay-Varina. It's been a long time business in Fuquay-Varina, and David is also a current board member of the Fuquay-Varina Downtown Association. The Fuquay-Varina Economic Development Commission you've been involved with also for quite some time too. And in 2021, David bought 2 buildings in downtown and converted them into retail spaces with residential units up above. And so this is where Lights Unlimited is here in downtown Fuquay. Beautiful store, beautiful lights in it right there. And David, as I mentioned earlier, was also a partner in the Q project. And we have a brand new True by Hilton hotel getting ready to start construction later this year. And that is our first brand new hotel in many, many years, and we're very proud of that. And so David has worked hard on that. And so David is recognized as our North Carolina Main Street champion. And so we're going to play a video for him here in just a moment. And the exciting thing about that too is that there will be a park bench of your choosing with your name on it, recognizing you, that will be placed in downtown at your choosing of a location, and it'll stay there forever. So when people are sitting on a bench and they read the plaque, they can think about you or inquire about you with that. And so you'll see these benches scattered throughout our town, and so they of some past winners too, and it's neat to be able to always see that and recognize somebody. So my point of me telling you that is it stays there for a very long time. It stays forever. So first of all, before we roll the video, David, congratulations again, and we appreciate everything you've done in Fuquay-Varina. Let's roll the video, Scott.
David Ball, Fuquay-Varina. David Ball is a passionate volunteer and advocate for downtown Fuquay-Varina, dedicating his time and talents to projects that benefit the entire southern Wake County community. Whether lending a hand at local events or leading transformative initiatives, David's contributions have made a lasting impact. A lifelong Wake County resident, David attended Wake Christian Academy and Campbell University. His firm, Ball & Minor CPA PA, has long been a cornerstone of Fuquay-Varina's downtown. In 2021, David took on a new challenge, revitalizing neglected buildings in the heart of downtown. He purchased 2 properties, converting them into vibrant retail spaces with residential rentals on the upper floors. His dedication to enhancing the downtown experience didn't stop there. David played a key role in the development of the Q, the town's first multi-story mixed-use building. Spanning 36,000 square feet, this landmark project features retail shops and a restaurant on the ground floor, office suites on the second floor, and residential condos on the third. His vision has brought energy and life to downtown Fuquay-Varina, attracting visitors, residents, and businesses alike. Known for his even-keeled demeanor, David is a steady force behind the town's progress. His commitment to the community shines through in unexpected ways, perhaps most memorably as the resident Grinch at Fuquay-Varina's annual tree lighting. For his tireless efforts and unwavering dedication, Fuquay-Varina recognizes David Ball as its 2024 North Carolina Main Street Champion.
When my children were younger, they really thought we had the rest. Next item on our agenda is the public comment period. At this time, the town clerk will call on individuals that are in attendance and have registered to address the town board prior to the meeting. The public comment period is a time for the public to address the town board about any matter that is not the subject of a scheduled public hearing. Those speaking are asked to begin by clearly saying your name and address for the public record. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes, or that all who wish to speak may be heard in a timely manner. Teresa, do you have anybody signed up?
We have one, Emily Holloway.
Emily, welcome.
My name's Emily Holloway. I live at 312 Andrew Road, right downtown. Once again, I'm just going to remind you all about those sidewalks at Fuquay and Raleigh Street that need to be fixed for ADA compliance for wheelchairs. Again, I'm here tonight as a concerned citizen. The 2 issues I'd like to bring up tonight, one's federally affecting us, I believe, and one's state affecting us. Recently, the USDA just cut $11 million in food bank assistance. Local food bank assistance works with farmers and our food bank here in Fuquay, which receives a supplemental food once a month through that program, which is going to be cut. I know that our Fuquay-Varina food pantry served 5,820 families. Last year, we have Pine Acres, which Brian is aware of, which serves hundreds of people, Operation Nihila, and St. Bernadette's food pantry. But I'm concerned that there was going to be a problem since we're losing that money for our food pantry. I don't know if the town can do anything to help, but just I want to let you be aware of that it could be a problem down the road for people that need assistance and to keep our food pantry going. My second thing, and I don't see my time clock, but
Little screen in front of you, it's running.
it's not, I don't see it. But anyway, okay, my second thing is a state-related issue. The Senate Bill 50, which just passed, the Freedom to Carry North Carolina, now going to the House Bill 5, North Carolina Constitutional Carry Act, which they're changing the gun laws that you now have to be 21 or older, complete a firearm safety course, pay $80, and have residency requirements and a background check. If this goes through our State House, you can buy a gun with no permit required at 18 years of age, no safety training, and no background check. Now, it is reassuring to me that you're in the top 1% of our law enforcement here in Fuquay, but I'm concerned about if this goes through, what our community is going to be facing with having younger people, 18-year-olds, available to buy guns, and if that's going to be discussed, I think it's something that needs to be looked at. And in addition to that, they also just increased the amount paid for line of duty deaths for law enforcement officers and establishing a scholarship for children of permanently disabled or slain law enforcement officers. I hope that our town will contact our local House of Representatives people and tell them that the town is, maybe you support this. I don't know. That's each individual has to decide. But I think it's very important that we don't let 18-year-olds be buying guns with no permits and safety training. Let's keep it at 21. And I don't know if the town can influence anybody, like contact our representatives, but it's important to me, and I would like to continue to see our town stay as safe as it has always been. So thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments.
The clock was at 9. Oh, okay.
Next item on our agenda is the consent agenda. What is the board's pleasure on the items on the consent agenda? Any changes or additions? If not, we'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I would motion that we accept the consent agenda A, B, C, D, E, F, G as presented.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Next item are administrative reports. Item 10A, Public Service Center Phase 2 CMAR Contract Award, Project Ordinance Amendment POA-25-25 and Budget Amendment BA-2525, Edifice General Contractors. More information about this item will be presented by Public Works Director Stevenson. Tracy, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Appreciate you having us tonight. We are entering this agenda abstract and materials into the record of the town. This item is to consider approval of a construction manager at-risk contract with Edifice General Contractors and the associated project ordinance and budget amendment. It is basically, if you recall, we just recently selected Edifice Contractors to do the work for our CMAR services, which is a model that we used first with the Hilltop Needmore Community Center. It worked very well at us controlling project costs and keeping us on time. So we're doing this same implementation for our expansion of the Public Service Center. So using your authorization, we went to Edifice and negotiated scope and fee for their pre-construction services. They came back with a fee of $112,300 for those services. And then they also quoted us a 5% fee on their guaranteed maximum price when that comes along. So basically what will happen next is we'll continue on with our design with Withers and Ravenel and Teeple Architects that you approved previously. These guys will come in and help us value engineer and do all the good things that the CMAR does for making sure that we get this project as affordable and as optimized as we can get. And then they'll come back with a guaranteed maximum price that we would come back to you for then to bid the project. So your fiscal note for this is we have $1,586,200 for design and engineering with Withers and Teeple. 2/3 of that was covered by the general fund, 1/3 by the utility fund. We're doing the same thing with the $112,300 for these pre-construction services for Edifice, which breaks down to $74,867 from the general fund and $37,433 from the utility operating fund. The project ordinance amendment just makes the project ordinance grow to accommodate this number, and that would be in addition to that original design figure. So what we're asking you to do tonight is to authorize the town manager to execute the agreement for construction manager at risk services with Edifice General Contractors as presented and recommended, subject to approval by the town attorney as to form, and to approve Budget Amendment BA 25-25, and the associated project ordinance amendment POA 25-25, also as recommended and presented by staff. And I'd be glad to answer any questions about the project or this action that y'all have tonight.
Tracy, I remember we discussed this earlier this year or at a previous meeting, and probably our last meeting maybe, but in regards to the community center, exactly what you mentioned. They were the builder of the community center, which was delivered on time and under budget. And so I know you have reminded Edifice that we want them to keep the streak going of on time and under budget projects right there in regards to this. And this public service center expansion is going to house our growing employees that are needed here to take care of the town. And so the board has been very lockstep and passionate about this project right here. Any comments or changes or questions from board members? If not, we entertain a motion. So move.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Administrative report, item 10B, design, contract award, budget amendment, and project ordinance establishment, Lincoln Heights Pedestrian Improvements Project. More information about this item will be presented by Engineering Director Poland. Matt, good evening.
Good evening. I am submitting this agenda abstract and the supporting documents into the official record of the town. The purpose of this agenda item is to establish a project ordinance, approve a budget amendment, and authorize the town manager to enter into an agreement with Kimley Horn and Associates for the design of the Lincoln Heights Pedestrian Improvements Project, subject to the town's attorney's review as to form. And with that, this is actually one of our recently awarded Campo LAP projects for fiscal year 25-26 that was awarded for right-of-way and construction only. The town will be responsible for completing the design on its own dime. And the project aims to enhance connectivity along Bridge Street by installing approximately 3,000 feet of new sidewalks, crosswalks, curb and gutter, storm drainage. These improvements will provide better access and safer pedestrian pathways to key areas in the Lincoln Heights area, benefiting local residents and students. The town, again, will fund the engineering costs and the design for the project, and has selected Kimley Horn and Associates as the project's designers from the town's on-call contract list. This project is scheduled to begin right-of-way acquisition in early 2026 and construction in late 2026. And so with that, staff recommends establishing a project ordinance, approving budget amendment BA 2521, and authorizing the town manager to enter into an agreement with Kimley Horn and Associates for design and engineering services, subject to the town attorney's review as to form. And so with that, I would be happy to answer any questions.
Matt, thank you for that presentation. For those in the audience that may or may not be aware of this project right here, as Matt stated, is a project we were able to acquire a substantial amount of grant funding for, and at the same time, it really connects a large amount of neighborhoods and houses to an existing school with a lot of walking traffic, and so this is really going to make a difference right here in the neighborhood, and we're excited for this project. Any questions or comments from board members? If not, we entertain a motion. So move.
So moved.
Motion.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Matt. Don't run away yet. Administrative reports, item 10C, Municipal Supplemental Funding Agreement BL-0022 Downtown Varina Pedestrian Improvements Project. More information about this agenda item will be presented by Engineering Director Poland.
I'm submitting the agenda abstract and the supporting documents into the official record of the town. The purpose of this agenda item is to approve a project ordinance amendment and budget amendment and authorize the town manager to enter into a municipal supplemental funding agreement with the North Carolina Department of Transportation for the BL-0022 Downtown Varina Pedestrian Improvements Project. And so again, this is a project that we've already brought to the town board for contract award. The sidewalk is approximately 4,000 linear feet of new sidewalk, curb and gutter, storm drainage, some pavement and striping. And the town was able to obtain some supplemental funding in the amount of $900,000. Which the town has to match $900,000. But so with the fiscal note and this supplemental agreement, this additional $900,000 actually replaces the $900,000 that we had already obligated towards this. And so this reduces the amount that the town has to put towards this project by $900,000. The project is estimated to begin in March of 2025, which is this month. We've had staking going out there. The weather has not been kind to us here recently. And we're expecting completion by March of 2026. So we did have an original project budget of about $1.4 million. And, you know, through COVID and through all the price escalations and real estate escalations, the total project is now $3.2 million, which is the same amount that was appropriated at when we awarded the contract. So. And so with that tonight, the recommended motion is to approve a project ordinance amendment and budget amendment, POA 2522 and BA 2522, to appropriate the additional $900,000 in grant funding and reduce the transfer from the South District Fee in lieu account fund by $900,000, and authorize the town manager to enter into a municipal supplemental funding agreement with NCDOT for the BL0022 Downtown Varina Pedestrian Improvements Project, subject to the town's attorney's review to form. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Matt, thank you for that presentation. Similar to our previous project with grant funding paying for a substantial amount, but also a school is connectivity to surrounding neighborhoods and houses. And I think that is a key factor. The board and staff is always working hard to try to expand pedestrian and walkability within our community, but especially when we can connect schools to area neighborhoods and keep kids safe. It means a lot right there. So thank you very much. Entertain a motion, so move.
So moved.
We have a motion.
Second.
Second. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 10, tonight's a night for Matt and a night for mobility-related projects. Item 10D, HL-0042 Judd Parkway and Highway 55 intersection improvement supplemental funding agreement. More information on agenda item will be presented by Engineering Director Poland.
I'm submitting the agenda abstract and the supporting documents into the official record of the town. The purpose of this agenda item is to approve a project ordinance amendment and authorize the town manager to enter into a municipal supplemental funding agreement with the North Carolina Department of Transportation for the HL0042 Judd Parkway and Highway 55 intersection improvements project. And so this one has a bit of a history as well, with originally being awarded in fiscal year 21-22 by Campo. It consists of operational improvements at the intersection. We've got dedicated left turn through and dual right turn lanes, improved signal timing, access management. Again, this is another supplemental funding agreement that we have obtained from Campo, where we are getting $900,000 and replaces the $900,000 that we previously obligated. And so project is estimated to begin in the spring of 2025 and be completed by the fall of 2026. We did have an original project budget of $1.89 million, and through all of the COVID and cost escalations, it is now $3.69 million. And we do have a developer agreement with the Brookfield Properties LLC, which will also reimburse the town up to about $1.2 million in construction costs. And so with that, the recommended motion tonight is to approve a project ordinance amendment, POA 2523, and budget amendment, BA 2523, to appropriate the additional $900,000 in grant funding and reduce the transfer from the Northwest District Fee in lieu account fund in the same amount, and to authorize the town manager to enter into a municipal supplemental funding agreement with NCDOT for the HL0042 Judd Parkway and Highway 55 intersection improvement project, subject to the town attorney's review to form. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Match numbers that are combined between grant money and a developer, 99% of this project is paid for.
That is correct.
That's huge right there when we can leverage a developer's money and leverage state grant money right there. So thank you. Entertain a motion, so move.
So move.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Nearly every intersection in town will be getting worked on before long, right, Matt? All these projects coming.
Once the weather breaks, it's gonna be crazy,
So we like cones when things are getting done. Administrative report, item 10, EHL 0027, Sunset Lake Road widening, Phase 2, supplemental funding agreement. More information about this agenda item will be presented by Engineering Director Poland.
This is my last one. I'm submitting the agenda abstract and the supporting documents into the official record of the town. The purpose of this agenda item is to approve a project ordinance amendment, budget amendment, and authorize the town manager to enter into a municipal supplemental funding agreement with the North Carolina Department of Transportation for the HL 0027 Sunset Lake Road widening Phase 2. So this project is also a fiscal year 21-22 project, which was, the cost estimates were developed back in pre-COVID. We're finally getting through these projects. We're getting caught up. And so this intersection, it has additional lanes across the Norfolk Southern Railroad tracks. It's optimized the configurations through this segment of road, the signal timing. And this is a supplemental agreement for an additional $900,000, which the town will have to match with an additional $900,000. We still are projecting construction to begin in December of 2025 with a completion by 2027. We had an original project budget of about $1.6 million, and our updated budget right now is $3.4 million for design and right-of-way only due to NCDOT delays and cost increases. The additional funding needed for right-of-way project costs will increase once construction is bid. So this agreement is specifically for right-of-way acquisition only, where the Campo is giving us an additional $900,000, and we will have to match that with the $900,000. And so far, currently, the design, again, is totaled at about $3.4 million, and the town will seek additional funding from NCDOT and Campo once we are out to bid for construction. And so our recommended motion tonight is to approve a project ordinance amendment, POA 2524, and budget amendment, BA 2524, to appropriate the additional $900,000 in grant funding and provide a match from the town's general fund in the same amount, and two, authorize the town manager to enter into a municipal supplemental funding agreement with NCDOT for the HL 0027 Sunset Lake Road widening Phase 2, subject to the town attorney's review to form. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Excited for all these transportation projects. We'll entertain no questions from board members. We'll entertain a motion to move.
So moved.
We have a motion.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion approved. All right, Matt. Time to tell those road construction guys to get to work.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Next administrative report, item 10F, finance and new fire engines. More information about agenda item will be presented by Assistant Town Manager Matthews. Mark, good evening.
Thank you, evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Glad to give Engineering Director Poling a break from the podium so we can get to work on those projects.
Pam, appreciate it too.
So here tonight, we are bringing before you the financing on the 4 new Spartan fire engines that were delivered in the last month and should be put into service here at the beginning of April. So the 4 fire engines were purchased at a cost of $3.9 million. The town paid for $856,000 of this from a state legislative appropriation that was allocated with the assistance of Representative Perret, and $806,648 in debt service that was included in the current year budget. At that time, we anticipated financing these trucks earlier in the year and having one debt payment made. So we're just applying that to buy down the principal to lower our borrowing costs in out years. This leaves the borrowing totaling $2,276,000 over a 3.5-year term, which will be paid for over 4 fiscal years. 11 proposals were received in February, with rates ranging from 3.51% to 4.69%. Each of those rates came with various financing terms and conditions that, based on those terms, may be better or not as good in providing financial flexibility to the town. Davenport and town management and staff, along with our bond counsel, are recommending an award to First National Bank at a 4.25% interest rate. While this is additional borrowing costs of about $31,000 compared to the lowest financing cost, this is justified by a memorialized agreement for use of parking for town vehicles over the next 5 years. First National Bank has been gracious enough to be a good neighbor, give the town an agreement to use 22 parking spots for the next 5 years, which helps us have a space to park our inspector trucks. That brings significant value to the town. A fiscal note is the loan will require a debt service payment of approximately $619,000 each fiscal year, with the first debt payment due November 1st, 2025. This was identified in the town's 5-year plan, and in fact is being brought in under what we planned on in the 5-year plan. So those debt payments will be included in the FY 2026 recommended budget. Management and staff recommendation is by motion to award the installment purchase agreement to First National Bank and approve the attached resolution authorizing the finance director to execute financing documents as presented and recommended. I'm entering the agenda abstract and supporting documents into the official record, and I'll be happy to answer any questions, as is our legal counsel, Bob Jessup, as well as Emily Jessup from Sanford Wholesales are here tonight.
Couple comments. One, the state appropriation that Representative Aaron Prey was able to secure for us made a huge difference right here. Nearly reduced the cost of purchasing by nearly 25%. So that was huge savings right here for the taxpayers. And Chief, I appreciate your team working hard on these fire trucks also, and knowing which trucks y'all needed for it, and Mark and your team for helping us be able to secure them the cheapest cost that we could have at the same time. Chief, still the correct color? Good. Keeping them red. All right. Don't let those pretty little blue ones come around now. So good. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Mark.
Mr. Mayor, the recommendation for First National Bank, First National Bank is my employer. I don't have anything to, as far as a benefit from this, but just from the visuals of it, if the board would allow me to recuse myself, I would appreciate that.
Yeah, Charlie works at this bank, but has no financial relationship to it, but I agree. For public perception, Charlie would like to be recused. We entertain a motion for recusement, please.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Commissioner Adcock's recused from consideration on this. We'll entertain a motion so moved for approval or not.
So moved.
We have a motion.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Did you say, Mark, when those fire trucks will be? No, we already took delivery on those. That's right.
Yes, they have been delivered. We have paid for them, and this funding will actually be used to reimburse the town general fund for what we essentially floated to pay for those three of the 4 fire engines that weren't paid for by legislative appropriation.
Is it next week? That's our unveiling of the fire engines, the event that we have. Is that next week?
That is in a couple weeks.
A couple weeks? The 10th. Okay, I was trying to go off memory. I knew it was coming. It's not April yet. You're right. A couple more weeks, Chief, on that. And so encourage everybody in the public that's here or watching online tonight, or encourage your friends. Come that day. It'll be a great time, great event at Fire Station number 1. And then we'll have a concert to go to afterward, Chief. So thank you. Mark, thank you.
Thank you. This will be the first time in the town's history that 4 fire engines are being placed into service.
It's great.
Exciting day for the community.
It's an exciting day. That's exactly right. When you have 4 new trucks to help service them right there. And, you've heard me brag before about us being ranked the top safest community, and our insurance ratings that stay low and keep our citizens saving money in the fire department. It has a huge impact on that, saving our citizens money right there with their homeowners insurance. People don't always realize that, but Chief, second, I get a brag about y'all to that, because people appreciate when they can save money. And so thank you for your team's hard work. All right, other business tonight. Town manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few things to mention since our last meeting. The engineering department has, as Matt sort of referenced this evening in his many agenda items, he was reviewing an additional $2.9 million this fiscal year in supplemental funding. These funds are being used to address cost overruns in existing projects. And I want to just reemphasize that. You probably picked up on that from his numerous presentations this evening, but we're seeing this across the board in our transportation-related projects, that by the time we go out to bid, the cost of construction is substantially greater than what we initially believed it to be when we began these projects. And so that does have an impact on funding, thankfully. Our relationship with Campo and the hard work by Matt and his team, Tracy and his relationship with the TCC board of Campo, and the mayor as the executive voting member on the executive board has assisted us with getting this supplemental funding. But we've got more projects on the horizon, and we will continue to monitor how those costs will impact our ability to deliver those projects as well. So good news from the standpoint of Matt and his team going out there and shaking the trees, but more projects to come that we'll have to be mindful of. And so I do just want to reemphasize that just last week, the Campo Executive Board voted to approve the official awarding of the right-of-way and construction funding, an 80-20 grant to the town for the Lincoln Heights Pedestrian Improvements Project. That's $2.8 million, a little more than $2.8 million in that one project. And then for design and right-of-way of the Bowling Road South Main Street Phase 1 operational improvements, we also received an 80-20 grant for design and right-of-way, a little over $1 million. So some good work being done by the collective team to get us grant funding on an 80-20 match for those two important projects for our community. In our planning department, Allison Wiley completed her first 2 weeks at the UNC School of Government Community Development Academy, so we want to recognize her for continuing her professional development. Interviews of candidates for the Economic Development Director position will commence next week, so we're moving forward with that process. 5 public utilities team members participated in a joint emergency exercise with the EPA, the North Carolina Water WARN, North Carolina Emergency Management, and 75 other North Carolina utilities for emergency water and wastewater event preparedness. We know that summertime sometimes brings heavy torrential downpours. We also know that hurricane season is around the corner and on the horizon, and so having our staff a part of those prep events will hopefully pay dividends if we are unfortunate to be exposed to those natural events. The water line from Willow Spring High School to Saunders Farm subdivision along Kennebec and Maud Stewart Road is in service, and the contractor is finalizing the punch list on that capital improvement project. And notifications for the annual inspection of backflow devices are being sent out to commercial and residential customers with irrigation and fire protection connections. And so those annual inspections are on the horizon as well. There have been a number of officers that have advanced through the career ladder recently. Brooke Godwin obtained her master officer designation, and Ross Cooper and Joshua Hillgartner obtained corporal status within the department. So we want to congratulate them on their career development advancements. Corporal Patrick Parker is being recognized tonight, in fact, by the Exchange Clubs of Wake County for his exemplary service and dedication to our community. This event is at the Cary Presbyterian Church, and it recognizes officers from around Wake County. So we certainly want to congratulate Corporal Parker for his great work, and we'll recognize him in the future as well. The Fuquay-Varina Police Department was awarded, as Chief mentioned, the CALIA accreditation, and this is a great achievement for our community. I want to thank Chief, you, your team, Rosie, and all of those involved in making sure that our policies are industry leaders and meet the highest standards around the country. This is a great achievement for the town. The police department kicked off the 8th session of the Citizens Police Academy on March 13th. 19 citizens are enrolled and attending. The police department storage building has received its CO. The new addition will provide about 1,500, a little more than 1,500 square feet of storage, and we are working through final punch list items with the contractor now. Banks Road Park LED ball field lighting is almost complete. Duke Energy is scheduled to install permanent power this week. New lighting will provide additional field space for our youth sports program. So we're excited to have those lights installed and appreciate the investment that the board authorized. Since opening the Hilltop Needmore Town Park Community Center, the department has issued 2,652 membership passes, which include annual and monthly passes for pickleball, racquetball, open gym, fitness, indoor track, and active adult social passes. This number does not include daily drop-in fees. So just a tremendous amount of interest and involvement and activity happening at this milestone investment for our community. Our fire department hosted the first 2 nights of the inaugural Fire Department Citizens Fire Academy since the last board meeting. With fantastic feedback, participants have enjoyed seeing the behind-the-scenes look at the department, getting their hands dirty, and getting a true feel of vital services the department provides to the community. I believe they've also even been issued their own set of turnout gear while being members of the Citizens Fire Academy, which is pretty cool. Not often do you get to not be a firefighter, but get to put on the firefighting uniform and turnout gear, and so pretty cool stuff that our fire department is doing. The new engines are scheduled to go into service on Tuesday, April 1st, as we talked about just a moment ago, and we're going to have that push-in ceremony scheduled for April 10th at Fire Station Number 1, as mentioned just earlier. The Arts Center presented Candlelight Celtic this past weekend to a full house. The next production is the Fuquay-Varina's Chorale Spring Concert, and that's May 2nd and 3rd, followed by the community theater production of Swing Time Canteen the weekend of May 9th. So a lot of fun and exciting activities happening at our Art Center. Summer classes and most summer camps offerings are available for registration online or at the Art Center directly. The Art Center will be working with the Duck Lab, Development and Understanding of Children's Knowledge from UNCG, on a project focusing on the positive benefit that dance training can have on the healthy body image development in girls between ages 8 and 10. So wonderful program that our Art Center is working with UNCG on. Public Works, Tim Honablu started with the sanitation department as a sanitation collector and backup driver, so we want to welcome Tim to our team. Our finance department has been busy with the fire engine financing that was voted on tonight by the board, working to develop a balanced budget. And I will say that Nicole and Katie have been instrumental in that process, and a 5-year plan, and preparing to issue an RFP to evaluate options for audit services. And our new finance director, Mark Stevens, will start with the town on April 7th. So we want to welcome Mark on April 7th. The 2025 State of the Town was well received on social media. As you can imagine, the video featuring our friendly ghost Francois and our social media outreach reached more than 15,000 people on Facebook and 132 independent reactions. On Instagram, the video had 2,300 views, and on YouTube, it was viewed 900 times. So pretty fantastic outreach to our community about the great things that were going on or happened in 2024, and certainly the mayor's preview of what's to come in 2025. Good Government Files, a national publication showing successful government initiatives, recently highlighted Fuquay-Varina and our communications department in an article titled Branding Boldness and a Dash More, Fuquay-Varina's Winning Formula. And it was a great article about how we are using video communication to reach our community and reach beyond our community. And so I think it was just a very positive highlight of the great work that Susan, her communications department, and our entire staff and board are doing to reach our community. And our communications department is excited to unveil a new website design tomorrow, March 25th. So get on the World Wide Web in the morning and you'll see our new layout. It's more user-friendly, it's service-focused, and proudly branded with Fuquay-Varina. We will be doing a demo at our next town board meeting, and we expect a smooth transition. But if you spot any broken links or other issues, let us know so we can get them fixed. Our Human Resources Department staff members recently attended the Public Sector Human Resources Association Conference. This conference provided a great educational and networking opportunity for our staff, and they earned continuing education credits along the way. So we want to thank our HR department for its initiative to continue with professional development and networking. And our downtown Varina parking lot security cameras and Wi-Fi will go live this week. Fiber finally was installed, and we are working with our vendors to understand potential tariff impacts on technology products. We understand that that might drive some cost up, so we're monitoring that and how it impacts our budget. With that, Mr. Mayor, that concludes my remarks as it pertains to departmental updates since our last board meeting. You do have, as a board, some informational items under other business. Coffee with a Cop will be at the Carolina Gardens Clubhouse on Wednesday, April 2nd from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. We will have our first Follow Me to Fuquay concert of the spring series, April 10th from 6:30 to 7:30 at Centennial Park. The Easter egg hunt will be on April 12th at 10 a.m. at Fleming Loop Park, and the FEDA Downtown Candy Hop will also be that morning from 11 into the afternoon till 2 p.m. We will have a food truck rodeo this spring. That'll be on Sunday, April 27th from 12 to 4. And it says Centennial Square here, but we're actually planning to do this one at the Varina parking lot this go around. So be looking out for some promotion on that, having a new location. And there are some first readings in your agenda materials. A zoning map amendment submitted by the DRB Group of North Carolina. This is for several property addresses on Sunset Drive. There's also a first reading for a zoning map amendment and land use plan amendment submitted by Steve Hamilton at 900 904 West Academy Street. There's a zoning map amendment submitted by Wayne Malden and Malden Watkins Surveying for 629 West Academy Street. And there's a town code amendment, first reading for the land development ordinance, CTA 25-01. So please familiarize yourself with those. Those will appear on the town board agenda for our first meeting in April. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions that the town board may have.
Any questions for management before we move into board member comments? Okay. Thank you, Adam, for that report. Okay. Commissioner Harris is not here tonight. Commissioner Adcock.
I have no comments.
All right. Appreciate you being here. Commissioner Watch, any comments?
I had a few comments. I wanted to first say that one of the best runners in the United States of America lives in Fuquay-Varina. Congratulations for the second time, for the second year in a row, to our All-American, Addie Mitchell, from Fuquay-Varina.
I was just cheering. Thank you. My daughter, yeah. Thank you.
Congratulations.
And when I was planning on saying that, I also thought we also have another All-American from here at the collegiate level, one of the best collegiate basketball players. She's still playing right now. Sarah Strong is so with the Strong Center here in Fuquay-Varina. So two of the best athletes out there in their respective sports from Fuquay-Varina. That's exciting. I met from the last meeting, met with the 50th anniversary committee for Fuquay-Varina High School, and they are still looking for any types of donations of things that they can display at the high school, and are looking forward to our board coming back and talking to the students at the various times that you went to the high school and sharing that. Yesterday, the mayor and I got a number of pies in our face, but that was good.
Good pies.
Good pies, because we were able to raise money for cancer research for children, and my kids could not wait to get me in the face with a pie. They were excited about that. And so, but it was for a great cause. And finally, I just wanted to say congrats. I know the Main and Broad Awards were announced, and Follow Me to Fuquay-Varina the greatest event here, and we hold it right here in Fuquay-Varina, and our Arts Center were honored by the awards voted on by the people. And so congratulations to that, and those are my comments, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Wunsch. I'll speak about pies and the Art Center in my comments. Commissioner Haynes.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, just three things. I'm looking forward to looking forward to the new website. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that. Second thing, Pine Acres Community Center is having a fish fry this Friday from 4 to 8, which will be to continue to feed Fuquay-Varina, as well as work on summer feeding going into the summer, making sure our young people are able to eat during the summer, as well as we just had an Eagle Scout finish his project at the community center with a community garden, so we're raising a few more funds to assist with that community garden finishing out. But him and his troop 75 from the American Legion did an amazing job about a few Saturdays ago, building some amazing planters, and two that are dedicated to our senior citizens that Meals on Wheels will be able to participate in community garden. So we'll have that this Friday from 4 to 8. Last thing, I was able, as well as Commissioner Harris, to attend the North Carolina National League of Cities Congressional City Conference. I was able to meet with our North Carolina delegation, Tillis, Bud, Fushi, and not private personal meetings, as well as the North Carolina delegation met with Senator Bud and Senator Tillis as well. So they heard that we are asking for money for infrastructure, road projects, water projects, and everything under the sun, and they told me to make sure I follow up with everybody. And we kind of heard updates from the federal level on what to look for when it comes to funding, that as it trickles down from this to the state and to our local government. So also was able to meet on the boards, other boards that I was appointed to as well. So it was good to hear those updates as it comes to funding from the federal level to how that's going to affect our local governments through the next few years. So that was good to be able to sit down and talk to each one of them and get hear from technically both sides of the aisle and everything else as well. So that was very good, and that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Haynes. Are you cooking the fish?
I will. I'll be cooking fish the whole time.
Brian knows how to cook, that's for sure. Is Battle
He sure does.
cooking with you?
Yeah, he's coming down to help me too.
All right.
Yeah.
So I know the two of y'all cooking is going to be good.
Yes.
I'll just put it on my calendar and try to eat some of that fish. That'll be great. Mayor Pro Tem Gardner, any comments?
Yes, I had the privilege yesterday afternoon of attending the celebration of life for Timothy Earl Carroll, that most of us know better as Tim Carroll. It was held at the New Hope Valley Railway, and with more than 200 people in attendance. It was just an amazing celebration of his life, and I got to speak on behalf of the town and the museum board, because he has, Shirley Simmons said, without a doubt, donated more items to the Fuquay-Varina Museum than anyone, and that would be in this time, since that has been a project since 2009. He had major responsibility in our being able to purchase, and our community being able to purchase and renovate and twice paint the caboose, the Norfolk Southern caboose that we have, that actual caboose used to run through Fuquay-Varina in the 30s. So it is a caboose that in its active years was actually coming through this community. And he had a great part in bringing that here and in getting it painted. And unfortunately, he died at 61, much too young, and he was not able to do as much as he wanted to do on that last painting project. But they said he would pull his truck up to the site where the caboose is and check on progress, sit in his truck and check on progress. But our community lost a real hometown hero. Mm-hmm. And there were probably, I'd say, 50 Amtrak people there, including upper management, who were recognizing him for his service throughout the country. It was amazing. But he will be missed.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Gardner. Talking about the Art Center earlier, Maureen, what I want to mention there is you won top 3 with the company of Durham and Cary and Fuquay-Varina. I know I mentioned that in my State of the Town at the last meeting, but I just wanted to follow back up with that. With that, we're talking about a minute ago, and that's great. We're always so impressed with that company right there. In fact, yesterday at the St. Baldrick's event, I had 2 different individuals come up to me and brag about that, and they said, "Hey, did you know that the Art Center got that?" I said, "Yeah, I knew that." I said, "That's incredible." And they were extremely proud of it too, and enjoyed going up there for those events. And so I want to just know that not only are we bragging about you here, but individuals in the public are coming up to me bragging about it too. So keep up that good work there too. So as Jason mentioned, yesterday was a St. Baldrick's fundraiser at Fainting Goat. And they had a variety of events going on there to raise money for cancer awareness and childhood cancer. And they overall combined, that was the culmination of the event leading up to that yesterday. And they raised over $30,000 for childhood cancer research, which is pretty impressive right there. We have somebody raise that kind of money right there. So there's a couple different ways St. Baldrick's raised money there. There was an auction you could bid on. You could get your hair shaved, or you get pies thrown at you. And I chose to get pies thrown at me instead of getting my hair shaved off right here. And we had different times to do that. And so my little boy Jake came with me, and he said, not only did he didn't really want to throw pies at me, not as much as my little girl did. She had a ball throwing pies at me. But Jake wanted to get pies thrown at him, so he came up there with me, and the 2 of us got pies tossed with us. And that was a lot of fun. And then also, Tracy Bryan, that works with you, was there also and having pies there. And so it was a good time. It was a good fun event in the community, and we had a lot of went home. We had a meeting earlier today, and somebody else that was there also with it and said, "Hey, how'd you go washing that pie off yesterday?" And I said, "Well," I said, "Jake and I went home and we took a shower, and we used shampoo and soap and did everything you're supposed to do in a shower." And that was about 4 o'clock. And later that night, I climbed into bed about 9 o'clock. And Heather says, "You smell like a pie still." You smell like whipped cream. And it was not on purpose for me to be still smelling like whipped cream. The point of it is whipped cream is a perfume flavor out there. So next year for Valentine's Day, if anybody wants to buy some whipped cream perfume, you can probably talk to St. Baldrick's about it. They may have some left over. But in all seriousness, it was a great event. So appreciate when those events happen in our community right there. Town Manager, I believe there is a closed session recommended for tonight.
Yes, sir. I'm recommending closed session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143, 318, 11A, 3 attorney-client privilege, 4 economic development, and 5 property acquisition.
All right, we're entertaining a motion to move.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we'll take a brief recess and go into our closed session. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.